Hey everyone, welcome back to the Errant Venture. Today we are going to talk about how Star Wars did Captain Phasma wrong. For those of you who do not know, there's a fantastic book out there called Phasma. It just kind of details all of her life before joining the First Order, as well as shortly after she joined the First Order to rise in the ranks to be captain. It's a fantastic book, highly recommend it. I did the audiobook since I travel a lot. Couldn't stop listening to it. It was fantastic. But now, let's go ahead and talk about, at least in the movies, how you can have someone who looks so badass in that kick-ass stormtrooper armor, you know, the chrome one, but get less than 6 minutes of film time between two movies. She was in 2 movies and killed off, but less than 6 minutes. This is horrible. For someone who's built up to be such a dynamic character, you see her, they used her in the original trailers because it was something different. She was different than every other stormtrooper. You can see it by looking at her. Less than 6 minutes of airtime. Trader got almost as much airtime as she did. That's how bad it was. It's crazy to think that you can build a character and not give them that much time like that. Now, for those who don't know, Phasma's a warrior. She comes from the planet of Parnosis, which is it's a low-tech, run-down planet. It used to be owned by a corporation, and that corporation melted down, left, and it's just a wasteland. Toxic rain, no vegetation, nothing. On top of that, there's a defense system that's left in place from the former owners of the planet that are going to shoot down everyone trying to leave and everyone trying to get there. So there's little to no technology on this planet whatsoever, and that's where she's stuck there. She's a high-ranking warrior of the Skyer clan. So pretty much it's a planet that has clans that battle each other for everything. No technology. When a ship gets shot down, they all see it go down. Their goal is to get to it first. And this is pretty much what leads to her being built up, and you only learn this stuff in the books. And that is, a ship gets shot down, and Brendel Hux is on it. Brendel Hux is from the First Order. He's in charge of training and recruiting, making up the whole playbook that new stormtroopers have to go through for recruitment, and when they go through their training. So that's his job. He gets shot down with him and a few of his stormtroopers, and he brings her in and says, hey, whoever can help me get off this planet, I'll take you with me. And her really wanting to get off that planet did everything she could to get him off of the planet. And he did. And because of that, he brought her with her. Now she's huge, especially compared to the other people on the planet. She's over 6 feet tall. That's big even for stormtroopers. So he takes her off the planet. He brings her to the First Order. He sees what type of warrior she is, how she can fight, how she can kill, how she takes no back talk from anyone, and says, I want you to train my staff. I want you to train all our new recruits and really get it going. And she did have competition in this in the beginning, and I think this is where they got the idea for the Red Stormtroopers. They had Cardinal. Now, Cardinal wore standard Stormtrooper armor, but his wasn't chrome. His was plastoid, but it was red. And he was the one who ran the program. He was the lead instructor for all of the new stormtroopers and recruits coming into the program. So he's essentially overthrown by Phasma in the long run because she's just that much better of a warrior than him. She defeats him in combat and essentially takes on his higher rank. There's more to it than that, but I'm not going to read you guys the whole story. I'm going to leave some of it for you guys. But spoiler alert, she does eventually team up with General Armitage Hux to kill his father. So she kills his father so that way he can take over and make the First Order what he wants it to be. What you guys see in the movie is his vision of the First Order. And it's still pretty impressive. It's a big difference than what his father wanted, but can't complain nonetheless. So now for her armor. Originally on her planet, armor was whatever was solid that you can tie onto yourself. And when she first took on armor, she saw a stormtrooper get shot down and took his armor piece by piece, put it on herself, and continued to fight in just regular white armor. And the ship that Brendel Hux was shot down in was one of Emperor Palpatine's ships, one of his yachts. So it was made of this nice chrome metal, and when they got to the ship, she made a mark of wait, this is where it crashed. I'm going to remember this. And a year later, she returned to that scene, and she took some of the metal, some of the chrome from that yacht. She took it back with her and pretty much had it fabricated into her armor. And that's why she stands out. She's a standout where everyone's equal. She's the chrome one. And that's a fantastic story, and there's so much more to it. I really recommend people reading the books, but there's so much to it. And you have this awesome looking character, such a great backstory, and I just can't get over the 6 minutes or less of airtime that she got. So the things that I did notice, though, she's very similar to General Grievous. With General Grievous, one, the fact that they put that cape on her, it really shows some similarities, and you can see it a lot, especially when she's fighting with Finn and she's using her staff. She just really looks like Grievous. And like General Grievous, they both had their capes on, flailing them around, fighting with a stick, whether it's a lightsaber or a staff, but she never gets a win. And you can argue that Grievous had a battle won here and a battle won there, but a lot of the major things that he tried to do, he failed at. He failed miserably, and she does too. In the movies, you never see her get a win. The closest thing she gets is that they capture Finn, and then I don't want to say Finn kills her. She eventually falls into a pit of fire, but she loses to Finn. In everything she's in, she loses. So she was built up to look like this badass stormtrooper, this leader, this person who's going to do something huge in this series. Essentially, she kind of looks like the Vader of the series, where, Kylo obviously is more of the Vader, but she's kind of like the lead person below him. So essentially, if Kylo Ren was the Emperor or the highest person, which is kind of really how I took the movie, yeah, you have Snoke, but Kylo Ren is the leader by just most screen time, most dynamics on there, that she's kind of like his next in line, and just nothing. So essentially, Grievous and her, they fail at everything. She's built up, she never accomplishes anything, and that's part of the issue, and I wish they did more with her. I don't think she should get her own series. Maybe another book, maybe a comic, but not her own series, not her own movie. But it's just that they created a character to fail and to blame everything on, and with such a backstory, they could have done so much more. At the end of the day, she lost to the janitor over and over and over again. And that's not great storytelling. That's not. If you make a great character with a great backstory who stands out that much on the screen, you gotta do something with him. Can you imagine if Darth Vader was killed so easily or never really used for more than 5 minutes between 2 episodes? It'd be terrible. So that's all we got today. Once again, this was how Star Wars did Phasma wrong. A great warrior, only getting 5 minutes of airtime, 6 minutes of airtime in the movies, and killed like it was nothing and never mentioned again. It doesn't go well for me. I just don't like that. I highly recommend reading the book or listening to the audiobook of Phasma and learn a great deal about her backstory. It's fantastic. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next episode. This is The Errant Venture.